Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah!
Yeah!
We got it! We got it!
New 52 booklet.
Somebody clip this for the woman.
Welcome to Comics League. I'm Jared, and I'm here with Nick from the Phoenix Press. What's up, dude?
Oh, we're gonna get done with this episode in a flash.
Yeah, so we're talking about the Speed Demons episode of Superman, which featured the first appearance of Wally West, the Flash, in the DCAU. So what did you think of this episode so far, Nick?
When I was done with it, I shouted Bazinga.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about with that one. Hey, what's up, Cameron? So today for this episode, what's kind of interesting about this, so they're basically adapting a storyline where the Flash and Superman raced, and to see who was like the fastest man alive. Ian says the only version of Wally West I love. Yeah, of the characters that the DCAU butchered, Wally West is the one they got right, I think.
Yeah, definitely. All throughout his run, especially like the special relationship he had with his rogues, I always thought was that kind of nice.
Yeah, and the thing about this is that it also features the villain, the Weather Wizard, who can control the weather. This was also the villain in the 90s JLA movie.
Why did you say that name?
I had to. And for those that don't know, that's a movie that we reviewed for Comics League for a really bad movie night. But anyway, and by the way, never see that movie again. It is a war crime, ladies and gentlemen. A war crime.
So what's worse? Wonder Bat or that movie?
Okay, that's a good question. I would have to say Wonder Bat, because at least that movie is adapting a very specific version of the Justice League, so I can accept that it's going to look that the characters I don't really care about. Now, the problem with that movie, and I know we're off topic, but screw it, this is Comics League. The problem with that movie is that the rest of it is crap, as well as the lineup. So it's not like there's some good stuff and some bad stuff, but it's like, I'm like, nah, I don't like this. But anyway, the thing that I really enjoy about this episode is you really see a lot of like the Flash's personality that will be later fleshed out in the DCAU in this. And fun fact, apparently, so what I'm seeing here is that the Flash is the first superhero to team up to cameo in Superman.
And could this be considered the first team up in the DCAU?
I would consider it. Yes, exactly. It's the first team up one. There's one more in, I think, this season that we're all really looking forward to. It's a finest one, if I may say so myself. And that was going to be a special live stream. Even though all these are live streams now, we're still going to do a very special thing for that one.
Oh yes,
because that is like the biggest one. But anyway, so for this one. So for charity, Superman and the Flash are racing. I love how the Flash is hitting on Lois Lane, and then he goes away, and I'm like, well, you dodged a bullet there.
And you know what's really lame is Lois seems to actually be receptive to his flirting.
Well, again, see, here's the thing. Here's the advantage that the DCAU has. Lois never gets with Superman.
Yeah, the thing is, Lois, if she goes on a date with Wallace, she's going to learn just why they call him the fastest man alive.
It happens to 1 in 5 speedsters.
God dang it!
Dude, you that was low-hanging fruit. You set me up for that so well. How could I not do that?
Fine.
But anyway, see, the thing...
You're lucky I like you.
Yeah, exactly. So what I really like about this is that it's also an arc for Superman, because, yeah, at the end of the episode, he says, Flash, originally I thought you were like an energetic, annoying guy, but you know what? You're okay.
I was hoping he'd say, you still are, but you're okay.
Yeah, but I kind of like that because the Superman learned. Because remember, as far as like we knew, Superman was the only superhero in this universe. So when he starts to like accept other people and like accept help from other superheroes, it's big for him because Superman, again, even though this is a weakened Superman, he's kind of seen as the guy that can do anything.
Yeah, and I think to settle the debate once and for all, who's faster. It is the Flash, but Superman can keep up. Because like look at the only version of Justice League that exists.
Oh yeah.
Because Jared, once we're done with this, we can go out for a run.
Okay, so anyway, well, in the only version of Justice League that exists, Barry Allen runs so fast that he reverses time. Superman can't do that. Ergo, Flash wins. That's why when people say Flash versus Quicksilver, and I'm like,
oh God, no.
I'm like, Flash, Flash.
I think Quicksilver can run at like the speed of sound. Like he's not that fast, especially compared to Barry or Wally or whatever.
Compared to any of the Flashes, the dude is like a turtle.
Yeah, like I always love to kind of use the scene from Justice League as like the benchmark where Barry's running around Superman and he like turns his head and Wally has like that and he's still fighting Wally or Barry, but he's kind of like he's moving in slow motion compared to Barry.
Yeah, what's kind of cool about that is that shows that like Barry is not used to fighting people that can go close to his speed. And I love the look on his face as Superman looks at him. He's like, "Oh no!"
I do love that. Yeah.
That slow motion. I'm so happy that was a Zach joke because that's actually a really good joke. You know, it's kind of funny. All the jokes from Justice League that I enjoyed were Zack Snyder jokes. So that was very comforting when I watched the Snyder cut. But anyway, back to this. So here's some trivia for you. The comics have depicted a number of races, both for charity and under threat, between Superman and Barry Allen, even though this is not Barry Allen, in which the winner was never clearly established. The first such race occurred in Superman 199. When Superman raced Wally West, the third Flash, Wally won, even before his significant power boost and main landing of the Speed Force.
Yeah, they've referenced this a lot of times. Like the Arrowverse did a version of this when they crossed it with Supergirl. I think they even referenced it in like some bootleg Justice League movie in the post-credit scene or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's what that was supposed to be. But then they brought in a bunch of stupid jokes. Yes, it is a bootleg. That's a fan edit of Justice League in the same way that Pacific Rim Uprising is a fan sequel to Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's made by someone. It's made by a creative that's probably a big fan of John Byrne and Bruce Timm.
They're probably best friends with those people.
Yeah, you know what I'm referencing.
Everyone does.
Charlie Slatter, who would later voice Barry Allen's version of the Flash in various DC media, including the non-DCAU shows The Batman and Justice League Action. Rosenbaum voices the Flash in Justice League, Static Shock, and Unlimited.
Nice.
And Miguel Ferrer, who voices Weather Wizard in this episode, also played Weatherman, the villain of the live-action TV pilot in Justice League of America.
Oh my God! Like, what are the odds?
Oh, it wasn't even it was the same guy. Yeah, wow. I thought it was just the same character. I forgot it was the same actor, too. Oh, wow.
That is insane.
That is nuts. So that's the trivia. But yeah, that is really crazy. I didn't know it went that close, even though he's called Weatherman. That sounds like a really stupid meteorology.
Like, this has happened a couple times. Like, I think there's this one actor. He played a character on Smallville, and then in Man of Steel, he played the exact same character. Different. He built the same character.
Who was that? I forget who that was.
It was the guy with glasses. He was on Battlestar Galactica.
Anyway,
so look at the actor's name. I got it.
Yeah. So So in terms of like how I rate this episode, I really enjoy it. First off, I'm going to tell you that it's fun, it's simple, and I like the interaction between the Flash and Superman. And I like the way their speed is depicted because you see them running, but you also see like the big streaks running across like the area. So I really liked how they depicted that. I also like how like the Flash goes, look, I'm going to run circles around Superman. And he's literally running circles around Superman. So I really enjoyed that. So on that, so Nick, how do you rate this episode out of 10?
I give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason it doesn't get a 10 out of 10 is because they don't like giving everything 10 out of 10s. Otherwise, it would be.
Okay, I give it a 10 out of 10 because it's fun. I like the again. I like the dynamic. But Barry Allen never made an appearance. You're right. No. This is Wally West Flash. Here's what you guys have to understand about the DCAU. The reason why they gave like Barry's origin to Wally and like Hal's origin to Kyle, spoiler alert for a later episode, because at the time, those were the versions of the characters that exist in the comics. So they probably wanted to still use the recognizable Flash and Green Lantern origins, but have the more recognizable versions.
Check Twitter chat pro tip.
Yeah, exactly. So it's more like it's more like that. Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about.
So in Timm turns to Smallville, he played Dr. Hamilton, and in Man of Steel, he played Dr. Hamilton's assistant.
Okay, that works. So that's the thing, because remember you have Wally West and Kyle Rayner Green Lantern. Now they do reference Hal Jordan, and that kind of. See, here's the problem. Here's an issue with the DCAU. When they want to put in like references to other characters, sometimes they put it in a way where it like screws with continuity.
And there's the other thing too is there are instances where they retroactively retcon stuff. Like, for example, in Justice League, it's shown that John Stewart had been Green Lantern before Kyle, because like they say, oh, when you sent Kyle to me.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird when they play with that. And Barry Hunter, yeah, I know we'll get Fire and Ice because James Gunn is obviously doing JLI for the Justice League. But it's annoying. It's annoying with that. But yeah, I mean, I get why they're doing it, why they want to do that with the universe, to like say these characters still exist. They even reference Hal Jordan in like the Time Stream episode. So
yeah, but that's more of like a timeline flip, so I can let that go.
Yeah. Brown says, I do remember though in one episode Wally mentions his uncle, and in the episode of Justice League where we're in the Flash Museum and Batman uses a gun. I like to emphasize that. You do see the Kid Flash costume, but there was no Kid Flash in this universe.
Yeah, and the other thing is there is a Titans in this universe, but that's only because of one line in Static.
Yeah, and it's not the Teen Titans from the cartoon show, so
no,
it's very confusing the way they do that. But
I will say, I actually watched a video last night where they made the theory that Teen Titans is connected to the Batman.
Oh, I can kind of see that.
Yeah, I'll send you the video. They actually make a really good case.
Yeah, definitely do. But yeah, so in terms of this episode, yeah, pretty solid, and I look forward to the next one. So the next one we're going to be discussing is, let me pull up Max so we can do that, and then we'll just go to our general hangout discussion where we do any number of things and freak out. Oh, I think it's the Livewire episode.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, okay, so this episode, it's going to be very shocking, if you will. Shocking. Yeah, Nick knows what I'm referencing.
Because remember, this is the birth of Livewire. This is where Livewire comes from.
Yep, Livewire episode. Yep, there you go. Oh, and we're coming up on a Lois Lane featuring like centric episode. Oh no.
Oh no.
That's gonna be a lame ass episode.
See, we have like the Jennifer Hale effect. We have the Lois Lane effect where it instantly we have less.
It's gonna lose 5 points. This I don't take away because she's just in there for like a second, so I'm not going to take off points for that one.
But it's the lowest lame focus episode.
Yeah. So Brown asked, we'll go to our discussion now. So Brown asked, how did you guys find the trailer for Creature Commandos? Now, I will say this trailer was better. That's what I will say. It's better than the first one. I still have to be sold on this series, but the trailer was a little more fun.
I have not seen the final trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not interested. But
I will say though,
if you want me to watch it live, I will.
Yeah, sure. As soon as the series, when season 1 of Creature Commandos is out and done, I'll wait a week, and then because Sam Liu directed the first all the even episodes, I will have him on to discuss them. So be on the lookout for that.
That's
in
pretty
December.
big. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I want to say it is really weird. It is very. That's one of the coolest, I think, thing that happened this year is that we have a nice working relationship with someone that's like very ensconced in DC animation.
Yeah.
And by Nick, I'm putting it in the private chat.
So Nick got it pulled up.
Okay, so Nick is gonna watch the Creature Commandos trailer live on air. So go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna do my live react. Okay, they're going for an anime look. I'm not gonna say that's bad or good. It's just like, okay, that's the thing. Colonel Flag looks kind of interesting.
Here's the weird part, though. He doesn't have the white beard and hair in Superman because remember, it's the same character in Superman.
I'm just gonna say that the animation kind of has like this weird Tomorrowverse vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Loophole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Bride.
Yep, there's a lot of really cool stuff there. And so let's see what else. Yes, I did, and I haven't checked. Okay. Hunter says Comics League Rupert Thorne is coming to the DC. Wouldn't be. I don't know who Rupert Thorne is. So, yeah, it's just another. Yeah, Brown is saying it's basically another Suicide Squad thing.
Yeah, it's basically Suicide Squad. Kind of thing. I'm about halfway through it. Animation's not terrible. It's like you can definitely tell they give them more. It has a slight Tomorrowverse vibe, but Tomorrowverse if they actually gave them a proper budget.
Yeah, that's what I will say though. This show looks more expensive, and that's a good thing. That's what I will say. That's a very good thing.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the Vietnam music.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I do enjoy that. And because a lot of people don't realize that it's a DC super. Okay, so did WB actually put DC branding on Keanu Reeves' first Constantine movie? Because a lot of people don't realize it's a DC movie. I think they did.
Gory.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gory, bro. It is 100% gory.
Nick, like things?
Yep. Brown, they might have put the Vertigo branding on Constantine the movie because at the time, Vertigo was still a thing.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear the Vertigo's coming back?
I know. We'll talk about that as soon as you're done there. That's some great news.
All right. Almost done.
All right.
Okay, they got Alan Tudyk, David Harbour, John Gunn, Frank Grillo. Good cast. I'll give them that.
And
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm pleasantly surprised. Like, I'm not completely sold on it, but it could be good. This will probably be one of those things where, like, I wait to it all comes out, I watch it, be like, wasn't bad, or hey, I enjoyed it. So,
yeah.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, the thing about so James Gunn did also address the canon thing with the DCU. He says we'll reference things like past events, and when we reference them, then they become canon to
That
the
is so
DCU.
stupid.
Yeah, this is the new. You know what's kind of funny? I sent this to Britt, but someone said close enough. Welcome back, New 52 DC reboot. That's what it is.
Wasn't I making references to that like a while back? Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's literally the New 52 style reboot, and that's not a good thing because even I, that's even I, a huge New 52 fan and apologist, will tell you that was the stupid part of it.
Yeah. Like, I'm not a New 52 hater. I actually did enjoy some stuff about the New 52. But like the fact that like it was pitched as like a clean slate reboot, start from scratch kind of thing, which I would be okay with. But they like, oh, we're gonna pick and choose what's canon, kind of stuff. And
see, the thing is
canon, that's canon.
The thing is, they could have done that with Green Lantern. The problem arises when they reference like Sinestro Corps War and Blackest Night when those events happen specifically on Earth. If they didn't reference those, then you could, because most of Green Lantern takes place in space, you could just say that happened 5 years when Hal was in space.
Yeah.
But that is the issue when you're dealing with that. If you didn't want again, but see, here's the thing. Yes, we can say that through hindsight that was like stupid from the reboot that way. But remember that DC did not exactly have the time or choice on when to reboot because WB came to them with that. Yeah.
So you could say they had to put all of this together in a flash.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
sorry,
that's pretty much what it is.
Sorry, actually.
Because you see so many people talk about, well, if they had given the post-crisis continuity a finale, or if they to transition, I would have been fine. Yeah, I would have liked that too. They didn't have the time to do that.
Yeah, it's like they realized Flashpoint was the perfect opportunity for a reboot. Remember, Flashpoint wasn't supposed to be a universe-ending series. It was supposed to be just a storyline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just supposed to be a standard Flash story, and then as he returns to the main continuity, it goes back to normal.
Yeah, and then they realized what they had, and they kind of quickly jury-rigged it.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like you don't. I didn't know for like a long time that was like that was like what it was going to lead to. Oh, that like it wasn't supposed to do a reboot. So I think they kind of adjusted it in a way where I'm like, okay, I can kind of see. I mean, it did pretty seamlessly in terms of changing Flashpoint. Everything after Flashpoint, though, it's like, oh, that's odd. It's strange, but all in all, I think they made the best of a bad situation. See, here's the difference between this and the New 52. This, they have the time and choice. They had the time and the choice to conclude the universe and then move on. It's not like Warner Brothers came to them and said, hey, listen, this has to be successful or we're going to shut down the film division. There was no film division for DC.
Yeah.
But that's the point there. So, Nick, what do you think of Vertigo coming back?
If this were under normal circumstance, I'd be happy. But you got to remember, this is current year comic industry.
That's
you got to remember they brought back EC Comics, and they totally modern dayed them up.
Yeah, that is a problem there.
It is monkey spawn.
Yeah, that's the problem, and that's why I tell people when they hate DC Comics writers, but always like promote like, oh my gosh, they're bringing this back to bring, or like, I wish they would do this again. Do this again. I'm like, okay, yes, I want that too. But do you trust modern DC writers to do it right?
Yeah.
Because that's what would happen. Brown says because a lot of people nowadays love the Constantine movie. Cameron asks, what was Vertigo again? Nick, you want to take this one?
Yeah, so Vertigo was a line of adult comics that started it in the 90s. You know, stuff because he had stuff like Sandman that was coming out, and it was actually a haven for creativity. Vertigo in the 90s and 2000s was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they were allowed to explore ideas you could never do in comics, and they did it in such a great way. That's how you got, because remember, like, Sandman was originally a DC Comics title, but when they created the Vertigo imprint, they moved it over to Vertigo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The WB is missing an opportunity to cash in DC brand. They're always miss an opportunity. Are you kidding me? They always do. It's freaking ridiculous. But and yeah, so by the way, also the thing with Vertigo, that was also what brought like guys like Grant Morrison, Neil Gaiman to DC Comics and American Comics, because they were part of the British invasion at the time.
I do want to address the Constantine reevaluation.
Yeah, go ahead.
The thing with that movie is it really didn't do well when it first came out, because as a Constantine adaptation, it's horrible. It is not it's practically a name-only adaptation.
Not practically, it is.
But here's the thing about Time. People have now come to watch it as a movie. As a movie, standing on its own 2 feet, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
The greatest thing ever. It's basically like an 8.5 out of 10 movie, essentially.
I would agree. As an individual movie, I think it's great. As an adaptation of Constantine, it's utter dog crap.
And I think that's what it's helped. And also the fact that like Keanu Reeves got popular again. People are going to watch it because it's Keanu Reeves. And like it's a decent enough movie. Keanu Reeves is cool now. And that brand of Keanu Reeves, because remember, in the 2000s, Keanu Reeves' career was kind of in the toilet. He was constantly like the thing of mockery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's one of those things where even when I watched it for movie night, and I approached it, I knew it wasn't accurate because I know that I could tell within 10 seconds Constantine is not playing John Constantine, the British chain-smoking demon hunter. But when I watched it, I'm like, okay, he's not doing that version. Let's take it as more of an adaptation. Let's take it as more of a fun movie instead of like a act. Because again, I'm fine with them making changes to continuity, to like the source material they're adapting, as long as they get the overall spirit of the character. And I think that movie did a good job of at least getting the spirit of what Constantine is.
By the way, Jared, we should do Keanu Reeves cinematic universe, because we could connect Point Break, Speed, Constantine, and John Wick all together.
Well, you know that John Wick is a sequel to The Matrix because he came back into the main world and was able to retain all of his gun knowledge.
Yeah, because the way I see Constantine is basically if Johnny Utah found God.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. And then Brown says it's more like the first Joker movie. Yeah, exactly. It's a good movie, and it captures the overall spirit of that character. So you know what? I'm fine with that. But so we have that. We also have that got announced, the sequel to Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. And I'm like, thank you, because that series was good, except for the ending kind of wrapped up pretty abruptly, but I'm really happy that we're at least getting more of that content.
Bat Yeager.
Yes, I want more Bat Yeager.
And wouldn't it be funny if they gave each of the Justice League a Yeager and they all combined into a Megazord?
So you could say they canceled the apocalypse?
Go Justice League.
Oh, they each have a Jaeger, but then the Jaegers combine into a giant Jaeger.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
We need Justice Megazord power now.
Oh, God.
And then the panel breakdown is like all of them in like that anime thing, like in Voltron, and they go form Justice Jaeger. And then you can even have the Flash go, I feel like this is in another movie. By the way, Brown says, you heard that right. That in Joker 2 in the end, there's Nolan Joker killing JP's Joker as he was inspired by him.
Wait, that actually happens?
No, I think Brown is making a joke. That'd be hilarious if that's true, though. I think it's because the way that the movie ends is that there apparently there's a guy that like cuts a smile on his face.
Oh, okay.
Cameron says, so if Vertigo is returning, does that mean DC will have to split their universe again, or am I thinking too much? I think you're thinking too much because Constantine, Zatanna, Swamp Thing, all those characters that originally were just part of Vertigo are too heavily entrenched in DC continuity that they can't take them out. Hell, Zatanna was just in absolute power.
Yeah, I think what they're gonna do is like Constantine is a Vertigo book, and it's mature, it has swearing, it has all the stuff, but it's still part of the DC universe. And then when Constantine goes into a DC Comics book, they like, instead of saying full S, he says full X.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I think it's going to do. Vertigo is just, I think what they're trying to do, they keep trying to do the Black Label thing. Now I wonder if there's going to be a penis in this book, if they're going to chicken out again.
Batwang.
Yes, Batwang. Barry, we will be covering Damned on Nick's channel at some point.
At some point we will, yes.
Yeah. Brown says Zatanna was in the Superman comics when Superman's making a deal with Neron. Yeah, exactly. So they're not going to split them back up again. They'll just use Vertigo as the Black Label of this time. That's essentially what I think they'll do.
Fun fact, and here you probably know this already. So Zatanna's father, Zatara, was actually in the original run of Action Comics with Superman. Like, if you look at some of the early Action Comics, like 2, 3, or whatever, some of the covers actually have Zatara in them before they realized it's more profitable to have Superman on each cover.
Yeah, exactly. Because remember, exactly. It's kind of like how Detective Comics had like other characters up until the 27th issue when it was like Detective Comics 27, Batman.
Or how there was 14 Amazing Fantasies. And then the 15th was, well, to be fair, Amazing Fantasy was scheduled to be canceled. They're like, put whatever in it, we don't care.
That's why, because when Stan Lee originally pitched Spider-Man, but it got rejected, and he was writing Amazing Fantasy, so he was like, okay, it's going to be canceled anyway. What are they going to do? He put it in there, and then it like sold like crazy.
Exactly.
But what other questions do you guys have for us that we can answer on this thing? Oh, yeah, and Brown says, yes, since Zatanna trying to find her missing father was the crisis event DC Universe. Most people don't know this. Yeah. Yeah, and isn't like Zatanna closely associated with Batman as well? Like that they're like childhood friends?
Yeah, I have that. Also, I sent you an image on private. So the thing is, a lot of times during Batman's training, he actually learned the art of escape, like escape arts from Zatara. Like, he learned a lot of magician's tricks. Because Zatara is pretty much Harry Houdini in the DC universe.
There you go.
And so basically, and there's some stuff for why Batman doesn't use magic.
Yeah,
I'll explain that.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so that there's like a lot of interesting history with this. Yeah, the first Crisis event. Do you mean Crisis on Infinite Earths, or what other crisis are you talking about, Brown? But yeah, so that's the thing, and they even touched on this in the DCAU. The problem with the way it's done the DCAU is that this is coming from a universe where they had Batman basically have a fling / romantic like back and forth with like every female in the Justice League, so it came off as kind of creepy. At least the way I pick it. Oh, Zatanna trying to find her father was the first Christ event. You mean in Christ on Infinite Earths, or you mean there was a Christ
Crisis
event
on
before Crisis?
Yeah, I think there was Crisis on Earth 1 and Earth 2 that came out before.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So yeah, that would explain it.
Yeah, I think that was like either during the 60s or the 70s they did that one.
Mm-hmm. And so let's see what else. Oh yeah, before Christ Infinite Earths. Okay, thank you for clarifying that, Brown. Let's see, what other news do you guys want to talk about? So we talked about the Creature Commandos trailer.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're talking about Batman and Zatanna. What do you think of them as a ship?
Them as a ship? That kind of works. I can kind of see that. Because she was there. You could argue she was there with him since the very beginning because of everything that because of, like you said, Batman getting trained by her father. She understands Bruce pretty decently, and yeah, I think there'd be a good pairing.
Yeah, I know some people might say like, oh, they're like brother and sister. They're never like brother and sister. Like, I don't really see that.
By the way, Brown wants to talk about New York Comic Con. How about that Daredevil trailer?
Oh my!
I am a hype, bro. I am so hyped for Daredevil.
I'm there with you. I am there with you.
Oh, holy God! It's kind of funny. Aren't you glad they completely redid the show?
Honestly, I'm glad for the actors strike because that allowed Kevin Feige. Oh God! Do you have the Zoolander clip?
Oh, I do. I know what you're talking about.
You have behind the scenes footage of Kevin Feige storming into the writers' room after he reviewed all the footage.
Well, okay, so here's what happened. So Kevin Feige walks into the writers' room, takes one look at the script, and says,
"What is this?"
Oh my God! I am so glad you still have that. That was perfect.
That's a clip I'm never getting rid of because that can be used so much.
Yeah.
But that's the thing when you look at imagine what Daredevil was like before they redid it. I imagine it would be more like She-Hulk.
The only thing I'm concerned about is there's a rumor that Frank's storyline is he's going to be hunting cops who use his logo. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. We don't have any proof that's happening, so I'm not going to until it actually happens, but I am scared.
The thing is, here's why I would say that maybe a little believable, because this is modern day Hollywood, and seeing how Marvel Comics completely butchered the Punisher, it is believable.
Yeah, I'm surprised they brought in Frank at all.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. He did play kind of a major role in season 2, at least, of Punisher.
Yeah,
Daredevil.
He exists, and he is a major player. Wow.
Yeah, so they can't exactly get rid of him, but I see what you're talking about in terms of in terms of actually including him.
And I remember Karen Page was actually a major character in season 1 of the Punisher.
Yeah, exactly, and that was one of the best Netflix Marvel shows of all time.
Yeah,
and trust me, from someone that has read the Punisher a lot, that show freaking nailed it. They sold me on Bernthal's The Punisher when he smacks a dude's face into a mirror and then rakes his face across the mirror.
Oh.
They hold nothing back in that show, and I am so happy.
I mean, did you see the trailer? They're holding nothing back still.
Yeah, I know. This looks like a very much a more mature Marvel show, and I'm like, yes. And you see that in the trailer, all of his different cowls, so maybe we'll see some different suits.
Yeah, that was very much a Batman moment.
Yeah, it's like in The Flash when Keaton opens up the little shelf and there's 5 bat suits there.
I miss the days when Batman had his suits literally on hangers.
Wasn't that only an Adam West thing?
No, it was in the Keaton movies.
Oh, he did have them on hangers. Or how about the time when he would walk into like a pod, the door would open and then the door would close and then open, and then he's in the bat suit.
Oh, that's a good change.
Yeah, see that's the thing. Even though the portrayal of Batman maybe not be the most comic accurate, I think one of the reasons why those movies are still popular is because they capture like the comic booky feel.
What about Hunter's comment?
Hunter's comment. Cersei and Creature Commandos will be laying the groundwork for Superman movie. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I like Cersei, and I like, first of all, I like the actress they have playing her. It's the actress who played Yennefer in The Witcher.
Oh, okay. All right.
And she's good. And again, the way DCU works is that the same actor plays it in animation and live action. So she's gonna be the live action Cersei.
So it's like, why'd you cast me? Because he played a hot sorceress. Okay.
Yeah, that kind of works. And I like that. I think it's pretty cool. I liked her in the trailer, and that's actually going to be really cool. At least one Wonder Woman character is represented.
And I'm going to be honest, while I wasn't a fan of the way they wrote her character in The Witcher, the actress was not the problem.
Yeah, exactly. She's a really good actress. Brown says, which actor looked more like Punisher? Does Ben Affleck look like Daredevil? First off, Ben Affleck does look like Daredevil, even today. And I would say, in terms of like the overall gritty and grunginess of the Punisher, it's Bernthal.
Yeah.
And by the way, Hunter, my Instagram page is Comics League 2020. It should be going across the crawl any moment now. But in terms of like, yeah, so I would say it's been a while since I've been like, let's go for a Marvel project, and yeah, it's there. It is 110% there.
I'm very, very much hyped. You got everyone returning. Also, that sit down scene between Matt and the Kingpin. Oh my god.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Again, everything just looks so cool. I like where Kingpin, where Matt goes, if you try anything, you and I will be having a talk, and then Kingpin goes, is this Matt Murdock talking, or your other half?
Also, I really hope Matt says, last I heard, you got your butt kicked by a 19-year-old girl with a bow.
Oh yeah. And then you were shot in the head by a deaf girl. Yeah, so that would work. But yeah, I really dig that. So it's looking pretty good, and I really, really, really definitely like. Again, I like when Marvel embraces the grittiness, because that's partly why I'm interested in Captain America. Because even though it's Sam, and even though it's like, it's still like in and out if it's going to be good. I like when Marvel tries to embrace the grittiness of the characters as opposed to making everything a comedic joke fest.
I'm not interested in Brave New World, to be honest.
No, but my point still stands that I like that they at least are trying different tones as opposed to everything being a different joke. Everything being a joke.
To be fair, in Marvel's defense, they have been trying different tones throughout Phase 4. Because like Wakanda Forever, honestly, there are points of Wakanda Forever that legitimately freak me out, like the song theme. And Eternals was a very serious movie. I mean, you can love it or hate it, but they have been doing different tones, and also the Marvels was not as much of a joke fest. Like, so I'm sorry, I got to give Marvel some credit.
Okay, I'll give you well, yeah. But the problem with the Marvels is that they lingered too much on the jokes, like the whole cat scene.
Oh, you're fully correct.
Yeah, and with Eternals, see, here's the thing: I enjoyed a lot of the Eternals. The problem is that the movie went on for too long.
I found the Eternals to be very boring. I actually kind of enjoyed Wakanda Forever. Like, yeah, me too. I saw like, well, okay. First off, Shuri is not elite. That being said, I like what the movie was trying to do. Like, it had amazing cinematography. The tone was really good. Like, they actually hired a director of photography instead of shooting for coverage for once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's one of those things where, yeah, Marvel has had some at least enjoyable projects. Like, again, is Eternals perfect? No. Did I enjoy watching it though? Yes, I definitely did enjoy watching it.
Loki is legit a beautiful show to look at.
Yeah, I enjoyed Loki. Hawkeye was superb. I loved Hawkeye very much.
Oh, I was like an OG defender of Hawkeye. So.
Yeah, I dug that show because here's why. I expected them to replace Clint with Kate. They didn't. So I'm like, you get points for me, Marvel. You definitely get points.
It's accurate because if you look at the Matt Faction Hawkeye run, Kate was kind of just his partner in that series.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. That definitely works. And by the way, that Matt Fraction Hawkeye series is amazing.
We need to do volume 2. We need to because we did the first.
I have the whole series in one trade, so there you go.
Yeah, I think we covered the first half on Comic Watch. We need to do the second half.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm down for that. But yeah, I mean, Captain African American. Yeah, but it's the thing is, I like. So for Falcon and Winter Soldier, the thing is, I liked a lot of that show. But I mostly hated the part like where they're walking out of like a house and then Sam is randomly accosted by the cops and everyone keeps forgetting that he was an Avenger. I'm like, okay, yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Also, it's like I get they were trying to do like kind of like a real life racism kind of thing, but like I don't know, it just felt so like ham-fisted. It came out of nowhere. It's like also it's like those people are like they're celebrities. It's like Will Smith walking down your street and a cop just pulls him over and does that. So it's like, come on, you're not gonna do that.
Well, the thing is also they keep forgetting that Sam was an Avenger, and I'm like, you shouldn't forget that. What are you doing? But anyway, I liked Thor, the first Thor movie, better than the other two. I love Thor. I've always said the Thor movies up until Taika came on are underrated.
Yeah, I would really want a dark Thor movie.
Yep, and there was the Dark World, but instead of Comics League, who would you cast for Ice and Fire? It might be animated. I wouldn't use them at all. So there's no reason for me to use them.
Well, let's pretend. Let's just pretend for casting. Get it fun.
Let's see. Fire and Ice. So you have to have someone that you have to have two actresses that could have chemistry together because Fire and Ice go together.
Also, I would want someone who's at least kind of Brazilian for Fire.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. I would have to say, see, I don't know that many actresses that I could nail for those characters because here's why. I don't read those characters, so it's really hard because I don't know them that well. So that's kind of why I don't necessarily do like castings for those characters because I have to know who the character is in order for me to properly cast them. All right, Cameron says Thor and Hulk franchise were treated terribly, especially Hulk. Yeah. Even though I liked, it's kind of funny. After She-Hulk, I saw a lot of people reevaluating the Norton Hulk movie and saying, okay, remember when Hulk was a badass?
Yeah. And the thing is, like, we see shades of it. Like, I keep going back to the Age of Ultron. Like, I could break your neck and not even whatever. Like the way that Mark Ruffalo delivers that line, it's so cold and just like a cold anger kind of thing. Like Not even turn a shade. He said, "Yeah, that was probably gonna fit." Like Mark Ruffalo could have been the Hulk we wanted, but I just feel like, and also I think it was Cameron Bailey said it. F Universal.
Yeah, Barry Brown says my most unpopular opinion of all the shitty movies that Hamadi released, I actually kind of liked Flash. At least it was at least better story complexity wise. Others were just plain simple storylines. Of the ones that he released, I enjoyed Aquaman 2 more. Yes, I got your DM, Hunter. I would prefer. I honestly prefer of the last few DC movies. I thought Aquaman was the most enjoyable.
Yeah, Aquaman 2 wasn't bad.
Wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still fun.
The thing with Shazam 2 is they just basically took out all the heart from the first movie.
Not only that, Nick, here's what they could have done, and this I guarantee you would have made that movie more money. If they made it a Wonder Woman Shazam team-up movie throughout the entire movie, because it's involving the gods, and Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman is still a pull. So if they had put her in the movie, that would have grabbed people in there. The thing about it is, like, Zachary Levi thinking that playing Shazam was going to lead to him being the next Chris Evans. That's not going to happen because no one cares about Shazam. By no one cares, I mean not enough people cares. If you were playing like Superman, then yeah, I could see that. But Shazam, really? The thing about Chris Evans is he was playing a central character of Marvel, Captain America. There's a difference.
I mean, let's be honest, Zachary Levi has made very poor choices in his roles. Because I'm sorry, like you compare him to John Krasinski, like who chose his roles very well, and he has a great career now.
Yeah, Cameron says anything that concerns the gods should automatically have Diana. Do you mean also how James Gunn is labeling Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters, but so far does not have a Wonder Woman project?
Okay, who are the gods? Is it Superman?
That's true. Who are the gods? Because nothing I see here involves the gods. None of the projects do that for Chapter 1 so far. And he always says, "Oh, but we haven't announced everything in Chapter 1." Sure you have. Sure you have.
Yeah. Let's let him change his mind a few times and we'll talk.
Yeah, trust me. I think his whole thing about, because he later clarified about the whole not all these are going to release, where he said we're only going to release stuff where we have what's the word? Where we have scripts, and so far we haven't had solid scripts yet. And I'm like, yeah, sure. You're only saying that because you got caught, bro.
Yeah, and like it's like, oh, I'm not gonna like be hands on with projects that are not mine. He cast a Supergirl. He cast like they cast a Supergirl before it's even a movie.
Yeah, or remember when he said he gave Joker 2 notes, or tried to. And well, to be fair, Todd Phillips did reject those notes. But still, the very fact that he tried to put himself in there, but he gave notes on the Flash too. So I'm like, what are you doing? The universe is ending. You have no reason to give it notes.
Did you know that Kevin Feige actually gave notes on Amazing Spider-Man?
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, actually, I think he like looked over the script and gave notes to Sony.
That actually works. I like that.
Probably why the movie's actually pretty decent. Kevin Feige had a hand in it.
Yeah, probably. Everything that man touches turns to gold. But anyway,
and that's why Phase 4 is such crap. It's because his hands were off the wheel.
And you notice as soon as his hands was back on the wheel, they're like, Russo brothers.
All right, let's start cooking. Also, I just want to say, I am excited for Fantastic Four.
Yep, I'll give you that. That looks awesome. Particularly the minute you actually show me Galactus and it's an actual dude and not a cloud, I'm like, yes, yes.
We're never going to live that.
Daniel Martin, hey, what's up, brother? Was the George Clooney ending of the Flash Guns idea? No, that was someone else in terms of
originally supposed to be Affleck.
Yeah, and Barry Hunter, I can't check my Instagram DMs right now, dude. What's good, Jared? Not that much. Just hanging out, brother. What's up? But yeah, I mean, Cersei is a god. She's a witch. She's not a god. She's a sorceress.
Mhm.
She actually impersonated Diana a few times in comics, which is actually pretty cool. In terms of like yeah, because here's the thing. I still say the Flash would have been a little more would have drawn more people to the theaters. And Nick, you can back me up or disagree with me on this one. If they had let's say a perfect world, they let Bale came back as Batman instead of Keaton. Here's why. There's less of a generational divide between fans and Bale than fans and Keaton.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this: it could have been Patterson.
Or that. Honestly, if he had showed up in the Reeves verse and that was the universe where all this took place, that could have also worked.
That's what I would have done. Is because like the Clooney stuff, it's cute, or even having Bale there, it's cute, but it's a one-off. Having Patterson there is like that is a tease of future stuff. It's the point of the stuff is to keep the story going, and if you want to just like do like in my perfect world at my Flashpoint, I would have just combined the Batman with a new version of the Snyderverse, which would have Henry, Sasha Calle, Supergirl, and then the Patterson Batman.
And then you could have the plot line, because Flash 2 was going to be the plot of Barry traveling through the multiverse again, but this time to get Affleck. Because remember, at the end, the original ending for the Flash was Affleck was going to basically appear on a TV screen and say, "Find us, Barry."
Yeah, like just imagine he meets even if it is Bale, and then he walks the TV, he says, "Find us, Barry."
Yeah, exactly. That would have been great. They could have definitely done that, and then you can have him travel to all the different worlds in the multiverse, and you can have him travel to the resource. All right, Daniel says, "I agree with using Bale. Wasn't there a rumor that they asked him to be in the Flash?" Yes, they did. They asked him to be in the Flash. It's just what happens. I think he turned it down, or they never got through to him.
I mean, you do remember they offered him $50 million to be the Batman for BVS.
Yeah, exactly.
That is an alternate universe I wish I could see.
That would be interesting. I thought Kevin Smith caught some flack for that and for the Keaton Batman Beyond rumors. Well, importantly, there was a Batman. It wasn't necessarily rumors. There was a Batman Beyond project involving Keaton. The problem is that it would have taken place in the modern day. And
I'm not as resistant to that idea because it's been 30 years since the Batman stuff. So there is enough of a timeline runway that you could do a Batman Beyond like storyline with modern.
No, you could, Nick, but you can't have it take place in the modern day.
Yeah, and also the cyberpunk aesthetic is a core part of Batman Beyond as well.
So I'm like, you can't leave that out. So that's when people were pissed off that it got canceled. I'm like, no, I'm actually pretty happy. Pat says, what if Patterson was in Clooney's position in the Flash movie, except it was different from the Matt Reeves one? Would that be better? Yep.
I think having it be different from the Matt Reeves version is confusion.
Actually, that would have confused the audiences because it was an active Batman. Because the thing about having like Clooney or even Bale come out of that car, let's say that they did that, that's a Batman that they're not making movies about currently. If they did it with
time for anything to happen.
Yeah, if they did it with Pattinson, people are going to assume now that all the DC movies are in the Reeves verse.
Yeah.
So
or it's an amalgamation of Reeves, Snyder, whatever.
Yeah. Now, I think that's a good place to leave it. So all in all, great episode of Justice League. And remember, tomorrow we're talking about, next week we're talking about Livewire. So Nick, where can we find you and what have you got coming out on your channel this week?
All right. So tomorrow you can find me on Twitter, The Phoenix Press, YouTube, search the same. Tomorrow, me and Jared will be plotting out the Samuel L. Jackson cinematic universe. That's right. Star Wars Episode 1, Kingsman, Nick Fury. They're all the same guy, and we're gonna prove that to you. So much fun. Tuesday we got some Chrono Trigger. Friday we're doing our Friday night feature. We're doing Scooby Doo, and Saturday we'll be doing Ghostbusters, the video game.
Exactly. So as for me, on let's see, Wednesday I'm still thinking about what my main video is going to be. In terms of Under Two Capes, again, I'm still thinking that through. For movie night, we're abandoning the like horrible movie month because it logistically it didn't work out. Yeah. So instead, we're gonna cover Batman Mystery of the Batwoman. So we're gonna be doing that one, and I can rant about Bruce Timm some more. And for Super Wonder Legacy, Britt and I are going to be talking about our favorite horror movies and putting Superman and Wonder Woman in those horror movies.
Oh, interesting.
So that should be really fun. And then obviously I'll be on Next channel and Taladia's channel and all that stuff throughout the week.
You're everywhere, man.
I am everywhere. So stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She blows your general Zod. Zoe's the Max about for life. See you later.